Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today, inshallah, we'll continue a discussion in biology in chapter 2 in interaction of genes. Interaction of genes. Okay. After finishing talking about the Mendelian inheritance, the complete dominance, the first law of Mendel and second law of Mendel, and after finishing discussion about the chromosomal theory, we come to the chapter 2. We come to talk about interaction of genes or genes of interaction. Genes interaction. In the case of, yes, as we said before, Mendel studied the inheritance, and he said each character or each hereditary trait is controlled by two genes. One of them is dominant and the other one is recessive. There is two genes for each trait. He studied the green vegetable pea plant, and he said that there is a dominant gene and a recessive gene. And when he studied the plant, the pea plant, the vegetable pea plant, he said that this is the way of inheritance that he studied. The complete dominance, the way of inheritance that he studied. But after Mendel, there is another scientists come and say there is other ways of inheritance. There is other ways of inheritance. Sometimes there is no more than two genes can control one trait. And sometimes there is no dominant gene and no recessive gene, like as we talk here about the lack of dominance. So these traits, these hereditary traits, which are inherited by a different way from Mendel laws, are called non-Mendelian traits. Non-Mendelian traits. The traits which are inherited by another way, not by the Mendel laws, first law and second law. So the lack of dominance, one of these examples of non-Mendelian inheritance, it is an example of interaction of genes, how genes can interact together and work in the appearance of the hereditary traits. To understand the lack of dominance, we can say there is a gene in this case of inheritance, there is a character controlled by one pair of genes, but no one is dominant and no one is recessive. No one dominant over the other one. No one dominant over the other one. The two genes have the same power. The two genes play a role in the appearance of the trait. The two genes have the same ability to express themselves. So when we are studying lack of dominance, we have an example here, the inheritance of the color of the flower in the antennum plant. In the antennum plant, inheritance of the color of the flower in the antennum plant as an example of lack of dominance. Here, in this case, we can see the flower of the plant here. We have two colors of the flowers, not two colors only, but we have three colors. We have red color. Some plants have red color, and some plants have white color. The flower is white, and some plants the flower is red. And also, there is some plants have purple or pink flowers. How come? Three different phenotypes. We have three different phenotypes. How come? How can a new trait comes by another color, not in the parents? For example, here we have the parents of this crossing. We have the parents here, a red plant flower crossing a white plant flower. We give the red plant our capital, and the white colored flower, we give it another word, another letter. Not the same letter in small letter, but another letter in capital letter. We give it a genotype W capital, W capital. So this one is red. This one is red. And this one is a white. Why we don't make it like Mendel, a capital letter and a small letter? Because the way of inheritance different from Mendelian inheritance. This is a non-Mendelian inheritance. So when we are making G, or when we are making G1, now we are making G1, now gametes or G1, we take one gene only from R capital, we take R capital, and we take one gene only, W capital, we take W capital. And when we produce the new offspring, F1, we will have the same genotype, which are capital E, W capital. This case, our capital W capital, we have the red gene, the red flower gene, and the white flower gene. When they come together, no one dominant and no one recessive. Both genes express themselves, and a new trait appear, which is purple. A color of the new offspring will be purple, different from the red and different from white. It is a new trait. So there is no one dominant and no one recessive. We have here lack of dominance. 100% of F1 is purple. 100% here, the ratio 100% purple colored flowers, as you see in the picture here. Right. What happened in the second generation? If we take two purple flowers, plants, and cross them, what is the new generation? G2 will be what, and the F2 will be what? Look here, we can see here P2 will be R capital W capital, which is purple, and the other one also R capital W capital. And we have the gametes or G2 R capital. Gamete has R capital, another gamete has W capital, and so also the other one has R capital and W capital. R capital, if it comes with R capital, it will be R capital, and it is red flower plant. The other one will be R capital W capital, which is purple. Also, there is another one here. This with this will be R capital W capital, and finally, we will have W capital, which is a white. Finally, we have a white, two purple, one white, and one red. The percentage or the ratio here is not 3:1 like Mendel. It is a new ratio or a new percentage. We have one red, and two purple, and one white. The percentage is 1:2:1. So this is a completely new way of inheritance, different from Mendelian inheritance. This way of inheritance, which is lack of dominance, completely different from Mendelian inheritance. Is it okay? Is it clear? So now we can understand why did we use here different letters, R capital, and W capital. Because the red is not dominant and the white is not recessive. Red have the same ability and the white have the same ability to express itself. The new individuals carry an intermediate trait or a new trait, which is a purple. This way of inheritance is called lack of dominance due to interaction of genes. There is another example in the animals. This was in the plants. And we have another example if in animals, we have the inheritance of the feather in the chicken called Andalusian chicken or Andalusian fowl. This is a type of birds called Andalusian fowl, a race of birds, a race of chicken. We have also in these animals, we have three different phenotypes. We have three different phenotypes. How? We have some birds, some chicken have a black feather. If we are going to write F1 here, we have black feather. We give it B capital, B capital. Black feather E bird. Crossing with a white feather bird, which is W capital, W capital. We don't write B small, B small. We write it A W capital, W capital. So we have here F1 B capital, B capital crossing. This is P1, not F1. P1 B capital, B capital black feather bird, and white feather bird, which is a W capital, W capital. This is black and this is white. Okay, now let's make G1. Now let's make G1. G1, we have here to take one gene only. We take a B capital crossing with W capital. Okay, and finally we get F1. What will be F1? What is the genotype of F1? It will be B capital, W capital. What is the color of this bird? Is it black? No. Is it white? No. It is blue feather bird. It is a blue feather bird by 100%. 100% a blue feather bird, which is a new trait, completely new trait. So we have here a case of lack of dominance. A case of lack of dominance. We have blue here. After we have black and white. Now we have a blue. This is a new, completely new trait due to the lack of dominance. The black gene and the white gene, no one of them is dominant over the other one. Right. How can we make the second generation? How can we make the second generation? We take F1 and make them P2. We take F1 and make them new parents, will be P2, will be the BW, B capital, W capital, crossing what? B capital, W capital. Two blue chickens. And we can make G2. Now we can make G2. What is the genotype of what is the gametes here? Some gametes have B gene and some gametes have W gene. Okay, some have B and some have W. Occurrence now of crossing. The possibilities. We have here many possibilities. This one come with this one. This one can come with this one here, and this one can come with this one here, and this one can come with this one here, and finally this one come with this one here. What do we have? We will have now B capital, W capital, a B capital, B capital, and we have B capital, W capital 2 times, and finally we have W capital, W capital. What is the phenotype here? The one which B capital, B capital is a black, and both of BW are a blue, and finally W capital is what? White. So we have here the percentage will be 2 1 to 2 to 1. 1 2 2 2 1. The new percentage We have here 1 to 2 to 1, 1 black, 2 blue, and 1 white. This is the percentage of the second generation, which is F2. F2. This is the second generation of the crossing between the Andalusian fowl. In the case here, if the percentage we have 1 to 2 to 1, the case here is a Mendelian or non-Mendelian. Is it 3 to 1? No, of course not. It is not a Mendelian trait. It is not a Mendelian inheritance. This one is non-Mendelian and it is called lack of dominance. Lack of dominance. Is it okay? You get it? We have here the answer here. Can you here B capital, B capital? What color of B capital, B capital?
Black.
Black. Okay. Black feather chicken. Black feather chicken. Okay. Black feather chicken. Other one here we have white feather chicken. We have here white feather chicken. And the genes, the gametes here will be B capital and here will be W capital. The new offspring will be B capital A, W capital. Is it black or white or a new characteristic or a new color? It is blue.
New color.
A new color. So here we don't have a dominant gene. We don't have a recessive gene. We have a new characteristic. This means we have a lack of dominance. Have a lack of dominance because we have here a new trait, a completely new trait coming by 100%. Blue by 100%. 100% blue. So it is completely different from Mendel. It's completely different from Mendel. Okay. And if we make the second generation between BW and another BW, it will be here B in a gamete and W in another gamete, B in a gamete and W in another gamete. And by crossing B with B, it will be B capital, B capital. By crossing B with W, it will be W, and here BW again. Finally, we have WW. We have here percentage 1 to 2 to 1, 1 black, 2 blue, and finally 1 white. This percentage different from Mendelian inheritance. Different from the percentage of Mendelian inheritance, which is 3 to 1. Okay. This is the case of lack of dominance, which is different from complete dominance in Mendel. Here we can compare between complete dominance or Mendelian inheritance and the lack of dominance, which is non-Mendelian inheritance. We can compare now. Here, complete dominance, gene of one character dominant over the other gene or dominant of the other character. But in the lack of dominance, the genes of one character don't dominant over the gene of the other character. This is a difference in the dominance of genes between complete dominance and the lack of dominance. Ratio in the first generation, 100% is the dominant character. In the complete dominance or Mendel, we have 100% the dominant character appear by 100%. But in lack of dominance, we have a new character appear by 100%. Okay. The ratio in the second generation in Mendelian inheritance 3 to 1, respectively. The dominant appear by 3, percentage 3, and the recessive appear by percentage 1. But in the lack of dominance, we have in the second generation, we have 1 to 2 to 1. One trait, the 2 for a new trait, and 1 for the other trait. So this is a comparison between Mendelian or complete dominance and the lack of dominance. In the human, do we have lack of dominance in the human body? Do we have lack of dominance characters? You have any question? You have any question, Emma?
No.
Let's go to the human body. In the human, we have also a trait which is inherited by the case of lack of dominance. In the human body, there is a character called, or a trait called the blood group. Blood group. Everyone has a blood group. You know, there is 4 types of blood groups, 4 phenotypes of blood groups. We have blood group A, we have blood group B, and we have blood group AB, and we have blood group O. Every one of us has one of these 4 blood groups. Do you know your blood group? You have to know.
No.
For example, when you're making the ID, you have to make the blood group test. You have to know your blood group. So I am, for example, I have blood group O. Other people have AB, other people have group B, and other people A. So we'll discuss together how come this blood group and how can it be inherited. And we will discover that there is a way of inheritance, lack of dominance, and another way of inheritance which is complete dominance. And also there is another way of inheritance called multiple alleles. So we have here every character controlled by 2 genes. Every character is controlled by 2 genes. And every individual have 2 genes. And there is 3 genes for the blood group in the human race. There is 3 genes, not 2 genes only. There is 3 genes or 3 alleles. There is 3 types of genes control the inheritance of the blood group. Inheritance of blood group is controlled by 3 types of genes called alternative genes or alternative alleles, which are A, B, and O. A, B, and O. The 3 genes or the 3 alleles are A, B, and O. And everyone have 2 of them only. Everyone have 2 genes of the 3 genes only. So we have 2 only of these 3 genes. The one who has blood group A, the genotype of the blood group A may be A capital. The blood group A may be AA and maybe also AO. Yani may be pure and may be hybrid. Group A may be pure and may be hybrid. It has 2 genotypes. And the blood group B also may be pure. It will be B capital, and may be hybrid BO. This is blood group B. It has 2 genotypes. Okay. We can discover that here the gene O is recessive. We can discover from this point the gene O is recessive. If it comes with A or B, it doesn't express itself. AO, it is not O group, it is A group. So the A is dominant over O. BO it is not O group, it is B group. So B is dominant over O. Okay, the gene O is recessive, always recessive. And if A comes with B, if A comes with B, the gene A comes with gene B, it will be a new trait, a new blood group, which is called AB. So A and B has complete dominance or lack of dominance. A and B have complete dominance or lack of dominance?
Complete.
No, it is lack of dominance. A is not dominant and B is not dominant. A is not recessive, B is not recessive. If they come together, they make a new trait. They make a new trait, which is AB group. AB group. So, this case, we have a lack of dominance between A and the B genes. Finally, the one who has OO, 2 genes of O, only now carry the blood group O. So how many blood groups? If I ask you how many blood groups, you say there are 4 blood groups. How many blood groups? I have 4. And how many genotypes? We have 6. Why we have 6 genotype although we have 4 blood group only? Because blood group A can be pure and hybrid, blood group B also can be pure and hybrid. Okay? يعني blood group A has 2 genotypes and the blood group B has also 2 genotypes. طيب. Antigens and antibodies, we don't talk about it now, we leave it now, but we need to make a problem of inheritance about how to inherit the blood group. We need to make a problem how to inherit a blood group. Here, example, a man with blood group A, B, was married a woman with blood group O. What are the expected blood group of their children? What is the expected blood group from their children? Okay. Explain on genetic basis this A inheritance. Explain on genetic basis this A inheritance. AB and O. We know that AB has only one genotype, which is A and B. AB. And O also has one genotype, which is OO. If we make genes or gametes, if we make G1, O gave you only one type of gametes, which is O. And AB gave you 2 types of gametes, maybe A and maybe B. Okay. So we have now to make the crossing between A and O. It will be A, O, and B and O, it will be B, O. We have 2 possibilities. We have only 2 possibilities, which may be AO and BO. The ratio here is 1 to 1. But 1A, this blood group is A. This blood group is A. And this blood group is what? This blood group is B. This blood group is B. So we have here the new individuals don't carry the parents' blood group at all. 50% carry blood group A and 50% carry blood group B. Although the parents don't have blood group A or B, one of them is O and other one is AB. This is a new way, a completely new way of inheritance. And this way of inheritance can be used, the blood group can be used to solve some problems, to judge between some issues. If a problem between a mother and father, a man and a woman, about the pedigree of the child or the parental issues, the parental problems. Yani, for example, if a mother comes with a baby carrying blood group O, the mother carry blood group O. If a mother carry blood group O, come to the judge with a baby carry blood group O also. If a mother with blood group O come to the judge with a baby carry blood group O also, and say the father is AB, blood group of the father was AB, and she say this man is the father of my baby, but this man denied. If the man denied and say I am not the father of this baby, so the judge ask the scientist about this pedigree. Is it this man, is he the father of the baby or not? The woman is telling the truth or lying. The mother has blood group O and the baby also has blood group O. The baby has blood group O. If the man has blood group AB, is it possible the baby to be with blood group O? Is it possible? The mother O and the father AB, can they give birth a new baby with blood group O? Is it possible?
No.
No, at all. All of their children will be blood group A 50% and some of them B 50%. No baby at all come from this marriage will be O at all. So this woman may be lying, and the judge can say the man is telling the truth and the woman is lying. So this way of inheritance of blood group can help in a lot of problems, parental problems and issues like this. We use it in judgment between man and woman, parental or the marriage problem, the marriage judge. So it is very useful in studying the blood group. It is very useful in studying the blood group. Inshallah, in the next session, we'll discuss, continue discussion about the blood group, how come to donate the blood group from one to another one, from blood group to another blood group, how somebody can donate his blood. Is it easy to donate blood from any blood group to other blood group, or there is some problems you cannot donate your blood for anyone? It is different. You have to know that there is a certain blood group can give a certain blood group. Donation of blood is very important. How can a person give blood for other persons? We'll know this in the next session, inshallah. Donation of blood and the rules, how controlling donation of blood. We will know that the O group can give any blood group, and the AB group can give itself only, and they can receive blood from all blood groups. And the blood group O can donate every blood group, but it can receive blood from itself only. We'll discuss this, inshallah, in the next session. How can blood group is universal donor, and how can blood group AB is a universal recipient. But blood group A and B, they can donate themselves. A can donate A, and they can donate AB. And the A can receive from A, and they can receive from O. B can donate B, and they can donate AB, and it receive from B, and they receive also from O. So we'll discuss this together, inshallah, next session. We have to discuss this after discussing the antigens and the antibodies and the ways of controlling blood donation. This the end of our session today. Inshallah, we'll continue in the next session talking about donation of blood and the rules control donation of blood. Inshallah. Do you have any question about what we have studied? Lack of dominance? We have studied lack of dominance. There is a way of inheritance in which no gene is dominant over the other gene. No gene is dominant over the other gene. And the two genes have the same power. The two genes have the same ability to express themselves. So if they come together, they make a new individual with an intermediate trait, not the parent trait at all. And this is a way of non-Mendelian inheritance called lack of dominance. And this is due to the reason of lack of dominance is interaction of genes. Inshallah, we'll continue in the next session, inshallah. Thank you and goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.